You are tuned
Let's
to
get to it. You
K100
know what the drill.
Radio, Hip Hop
What's
and
happening?
R&B.
What's happening? Yeah.
K100, you bastards!
K100 Radio, I'm your host, Blizzard. Welcome everybody to our live broadcast, live on K100 Radio. Shout out to everybody that's listening on K100Radio.com. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it, man. Tonight, we're rocking out with Landon McClellen, and I'm going to bring him on the line right now, man. Bring him up on the screen for you. Landon, what's up, family? What's good with you, folk? What up, though?
Hey, what's going on, Blizzard? How we feeling, man?
I'm good, fam. What's going on?
It's a blessing. It's an honor. It's a blessing to be here. I'm happy you can have me on.
Well, listen, fam. I'm glad that you. I'm gonna turn my background music down a little bit so we can get this complete vibe on, man. So listen, welcome to the broadcast for the first time, fam. This is my first time having you on K100 Radio, and I hope it won't be the last, man, because we're gonna jump right into it, man. You got some really great music, but first and foremost, I'd just like to let my guests introduce themselves to our listening audience, man. You got it. Take the floor, bro.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all the way from Wilmington, North Carolina. It's your most versatile. It's your most passionate artist. Listen, I'm here to spread some good vibes. I'm here to spread some wholesome messages, right? Some real life experiences. My name is Landon McClellen. I was raised as a church boy, singing gospel as a young kid, and I grew up, fell in love with hip hop, fell in love with alternative stuff, fell in love with rock, fell in love with a whole bunch of stuff. You can follow me on all social media platforms, Landon McClellen, LandonMcClellanNC for North Carolina, on all platforms. If you want to find me on Apple Music stuff, just type in the name. It's that easy. Once again, blessings to you and blessings to K100, man. It's great to be here.
Man, thank you, man. That's great. First of all, a couple of things, you know what I'm saying? A couple of things. Now, we got a common background, and I didn't know that before we even got into the interview, bro. Like I'm just listening to your story. So, I come from a church background myself too, and I fell in love with hip hop. And so I want to start the conversation off right there. And I know you said you were versatile, and I've listened to the music, and that is true. So we're going to get into the music side of it, but let's start with that conversation, man, because I love those conversations because I've lived that. You know, I came from a church background too. I grew up playing the drums in church. That's my first experience with music, period. My mother, she sung in church. She played the piano, and then I started playing drums in the church. Really early age, I was really good. I was playing on Sundays at 10, right, 10 years old, which is rare because I'm still a small kid, but I was able to do it that good. So, having that background, how did your family, if you have a church background, how did your family feel when you started gravitating towards hip hop, which is secular music? Like, how did they feel about that?
Oh man, they weren't happy. They weren't happy. But the irony of that is that my very first exposure to hip hop was in the backyard of our church. And we had a service, and I had a couple of friends at the church, and they were a little older than me. One of my main homeboy, his name was John. Shout out to John Dotton. And he put headphones in my ears, and he's like, "Man, listen to this. You know, you gotta hear this." And the first hip hop that I ever heard in my life, the very first chance I ever had to hear it, it was Georgia Bush by Lil Wayne. And he was talking about New Orleans and all this stuff. Georgia Bush, I'm from a town where everybody drowned it. All this, and it blew my mind. And that was I was hooked. So it was pretty much a long road after that, and I dove back and did all my research. But they were not happy. They were not happy. It took them a while to get used to the idea that I was going to do secular music. And as a matter of fact, between you and me, there was years that I promoted myself, and I only would rap. I wouldn't sing anything, because to me, singing and church were too tightly intertwined like this, So I abstained from singing for a very long time until some friends of mine, finally eventually persuaded me to go sing in public, and like, "Hey, bro, you sing really well. Why aren't you promoting that? Why are you just rapping?" And I'm like, "Oh, I always had a reason why, but I gradually grew out of it." But yeah, they were not happy at all.
So that's like a crazy conversation. Like, first of all, like, just beyond having to kind of just tell your family that you don't want to go that way. Like, that conversation was awkward for me. Like, I ended up getting kicked out of my house, bro, because I just was not conforming to what my mother and father, who were staunch Christians, wanted to have in their household. And my love for hip hop was the catalyst for everything. I ended up going completely left though. Like, I went way left. See, I jumped off the porch and did a nose dive into the streets and everything. My life went crazy. You know what I'm saying? My story is insane like that. But, you know, I guess I had enough people praying for me that I still made it out. I'm still here living right now and free. But with that being said, like, you know, your parents want the best for you, and they feel like that's what is best for you because that's the way, the moralistic way to go. But not choosing to not sing because of that intertwine, because people feel like, even right now today, people feel like, we know it's not true. But people feel like hip hop doesn't have any soul. It's just, it's just people copying, doing and saying the same thing. It's all gangster. It's all blah blah blah. And in R&B, when you sing, it comes more from the soul. So people, you feel it more because people sing to you. It resonates a little bit different on a different frequency than rap, and that's just true. That's just facts. That's just music. But so when you decided to say, okay, just want to rap. When you did that, did you feel like you knew you were better at singing, or did you say, nah, I just want to do this? But did you know that you were better at one than the other, and you just didn't want to do it? But that's the spiritual connection was the only way. Because my introduction to you now today is singing. I haven't even. When I got the interview request, it's like I heard your single. I'm like, didn't even know about the rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how did you handle that when you was like, you know, when you decided just I don't want to sing, you wanted to rap? Like,
it's pretty much how you described it. You actually hit the nail on the head. Like I said, I was singing in church long before I rapped a verse, right? Like, I didn't know about bars. I wrote some poetry, to be fair, like back in the day. I was writing poetry as a little kid in church, even to the point where I had almost like a little fan club, I guess. Like, there were probably 10 or 12 people in my church that when I would write a poem, handwrite a poem on a piece of notebook paper, and there would be 10 or 12 people that would request me to go make copies of it with the copier machine, and they all wanted a copy to take home and put on the fridge, right? So there was a series of like poems that I would write, but I didn't consider that rap. It wasn't really rap, and you know, it wouldn't hold up under that type of circumstance or whatever. I knew very well that I was a singer, right? I knew very well. Knew there was no doubt in my mind. Yeah, you sing better than you rap. But then I rapped enough where now I feel like as of currently, those two levels are pretty much, because if you go on my discography right now, like, once again, the music that you have is very much singing oriented. But if you go on my discography, you're going to find some rap songs, and you're going to understand that I rap at a very high level. But yeah, just like you said, I wasn't going to sing anything because my parents told me as a kid that God gave you that voice. That voice is a gift from heaven. And if you're not using it to praise Jesus, you shouldn't be using it at all. And ironically enough, in the midst of my rebellion, right, as a person, you know, I actually took that part very seriously. And I was like, well, if I'm not in the church, I'm just not going to sing. There's no reason for me to use this gift that God has given me for anything but him. And since I'm not going down that road, I'm not desiring to be a part of the church, you know, and do all that stuff, I'm just not going to sing. It was a very conscious decision that I made, you know, and I'm not doing it. There's no reason to do it. And so then as time went by, I had a friend of mine, shout out TVM Killer, my boy TVM, one of my best friends in the world. He said he started to call me R&B curious. And
I like that.
I was like,
yeah.
I said,
I like
bro,
that.
I was like, what does that even mean? What are you talking about? He said,
I get it. I liked it. That was funny.
I think you're R&B curious.
Yeah,
I'm like,
funny.
what? He's like, I think you should write an R&B album. And he teased me so much about it that finally I just called his bluff, and I began to work on my album that's out, and it's called Call Me When You Get This. And I dropped it back in, I think it's like 2018, maybe, my debut like singing album. And it's been a whole bunch of stuff ever since.
But you know what's crazy about that? I think my big takeaway from what you said, and it's just this is a relatable conversation, and this is what people, you know, I like my interviews to be unique to our conversation. And, you know, I don't like to throw out the static questions. I think what's really telling and what's poignant about what you said is when you said, well, God gave you that gift to sing, so you should only use it to glorify Him. But everybody can't write poems. Everybody can't write songs in the first place. That's also a talent that God gave you. Essentially, you know what I'm saying? Essentially, even when you were rapping, you were writing those bars. He gave you the gift to write, because everybody that rap can't write. Everybody that sing can't write. So even still, Landon, you kind of sort of was already doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You were writing, and God gave you that gift too. And that's kind of how so I say that because that was the way that I justified what I did. I was my thought process was once I fell in love with hip hop, and I knew that I couldn't rap gospel rap because I was not living a gospel life. I knew what I was doing when my mama wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? I knew I was with I was with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I couldn't rap. I felt like if I be out here rapping gospel rap, God gonna strike me down dead in the church because He know I'm lying like hell. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Right. So, but I felt like God did give me this gift, and there's no way I'm gonna let it go to waste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you feel a tinge of that too, even when you were rapping?
I don't think I was. I think I was trying not to think about it.
Yeah.
Because we all, once again, I'm not as young as I used to be, and I'm not as old as I'm going to get. But I definitely remember a time where there was not nearly enough maturity to go around.
Yeah.
And so I think there was a good little portion of it there where I just wanted to rap because to me, rap, and still is. Let's be honest, right? Let's be fair. To this day. Like I got the words hip hop addict tattooed like right here on my heart. And I believe that probably till the day I die, I will still be looking up to hip hop as one of the most pure and unfiltered sources of rebellion, of self-expression, right? Like you can't get any realer than hip hop, I feel like, in a lot of instances, in a lot of ways. Of course, and we could go into a whole conversation about genres, right? How you're saying that not everybody that can rap can write, not everybody can write can rap. And there are a whole lot of rappers right now who are talking that are rapping a whole lot of rap and they're not saying nothing. They're not saying shit.
Right.
But I still feel like that even till the day that the world burns down, hip hop is going to remain in its purest form one of the most beautiful forms of self-expression, of rebellion. And that's what I was focused on. Yeah. When I left the church, because like you said, you got kicked out. Right. So did I. That's literally how my story went. At 16 years old, my dad said, you can no longer live in our house. You're going to keep doing what you're doing. You have to leave. Yeah. So I left.
Yeah. I beat you by a year. I was 15. I beat you by 1 year. Like, you got to go.
And I haven't lived back at home since. I've spent a lot of time out doing stuff. And thankfully, my relationship with my parents has kind of gotten back to somewhat of an equilibrium. I think it took them a while to accept a lot of stuff about me, the tattoos, the hair, all the stuff. I wasn't the clean, church boy, I guess, that they wanted me to be, like you said. But I wasn't paying much attention to anything but just rebellion. Anything that seemed to be the opposite of what they wanted. You know what I mean? Like, and that's hip hop gave me a voice of, and I still am a guest in the house of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, I was raised on a farm. Like, I was a country boy for years and years. Like, I've always been grateful to hip hop for allowing me in its space. Right? I've always been grateful to be able to be a part. And that means a hell of a lot to me, honestly. I know, and I love that remark too, man. Listen, fam, I like your story. It's interesting. When I got the packet and I was looking at it, shout out to Sarai who sent me over the information for the interview and for booking it. And shout out to Sarai. Before I even hit play on the music, I was like, I wonder what is he doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I just hit play, and the song that we getting ready to get into in a second, which is "Love You Tomorrow," it came on, and I was like, first of all, this white boy can sing. You know what I'm saying? That's my first initial. Yo, this white boy can hold on. This white boy can sing. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, he can sing. But I think that I noticed when you first came on and you said, the most versatile. So you mentioned rock, you mentioned a lot of other genres. So do you have some of that other kind of music in your catalog too? Yeah, if you some influences. So I guess I don't have any super heavy stuff out. I've recorded some super heavy stuff like death metal, like really super like aggressive, like crazy, but none of it's out. It's all going to stay locked away probably till forever because That's just not my lane, and it would be a waste of money to promote it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyhow.
Yeah.
But if you go in my catalog right now, so if you're going on Apple Music, if you're going on Spotify stuff to look at my stuff, you're going to find influences. You're going to find guitars. You're going to find a little bit of growling and screaming. You're going to find some heavier vocals, that aren't soft and fluffy. So a lot of variety. You're going to find jazz influences, gospel influences, rap, rock. Yeah, if you run through my catalog, you're going to find a whole bunch of different stuff.
Okay, good stuff. And we're getting ready to get into the music in a minute because I want people to hear the voice. Because I was like, yo, he can sing. In the song that we getting ready to play in a minute, I'm gonna let you introduce us in a second. But I like to get these backstories and these backdrops. So before we get into the music, though, I gotta talk about like Carolina. You said you was on a farm. Let's talk about let's talk about where you from and what it was like growing up being an indie artist. So are you still in Carolina? Is that your home base still in Carolina?
Yeah, correct.
Talk to me about being an artist in Carolina, like being an independent artist right now in Carolina. Yeah. What's that like?
Yeah. Oh, it's there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in the Carolinas for sure. Shout out to NC. Shout out to 910. That's where I'm from. I'm from Wilmington, so that whole 910 area there. Got it tattooed on my arm over here. So shout out to all the people back at the crib, man. Shout out to TVM. Shout out to Young Will. Shout out to Bobby Dollars up there in Raleigh. Shout out to all the homies, man. I could list 1,000 of them, but North Carolina is a very vibrant place, but it's also on the clicky side, I guess, if that makes sense. Which anywhere humans exist, you're gonna find that. That's what I was about to
say, like, bro, because people think Atlanta's like all kumbaya and everybody works together. No,
it's a lot of clickiness.
That's not the case. The people beef here just like anywhere else. It's just more people, so you see more camaraderie because it's more. The industry is here and more people here, but there's beef here like everywhere else. But go ahead, continue.
Well, I know for a fact that, like, ideally everyone supports everybody, but when it comes down to it, like, especially so, for instance. You're talking about the Carolinas. Even if you zoom in a little farther and just say Wilmington, right, which is where I'm from, which is where I stay. Even Wilmington, it's a small enough place. Like, I think Wilmington's population is like 450,000 people, right? Mm-hmm. Compared to Atlanta's, like, how many people in Atlanta? Like 2 million, I think.
Well, the Metro's got 6.4 million. The Metro.
6 million. Goodness gracious, I was off.
When you count the whole circle, the whole metro area is 6.4 million.
It's a chunk, right? 6 million in Atlanta, right? So where I'm from, you got like about 500,000, right? Okay, so basically, I can at the height of Wilmington's hip hop scene, especially, and like not just music but hip hop, you could name all the rappers that were really hot on two hands probably, and they all were beefing with each other, and they all stayed within 5 minutes of each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's all like a very condensed, like, you might say, oh, this is such and such block, and so raps over here, and he's beefing with so and so that stays 6 blocks this way, so on and so forth. So it's all very condensed. Like, it was very clicky and small and condensed. But Wilmington had a very vibrant hip hop scene for a little while, and then a whole lot of gentrification happened, and they took it all away. All the clubs that were playing hip hop and letting rappers come in and do shows and stuff, they got sick of it, and so a whole bunch of gentrification happened, and they took it all away. And so now the only music, it sucks. I'm mad at Wilmington because of that. The only music that you can really find consistently in Wilmington is going to be indie, reggae, acoustic, some rock. There's no metal either to speak of, right? Like anything that gets rowdy basically was what it was. Rappers throw shows, there might be a fight. You know what I mean? A bunch of metalheads throw a show, there might be a fight.
Right.
And so anything that had to do with any of that was gone away. But North Carolina, on the other hand, I can't sing Carolina's praises enough. Obviously, J. Cole, like, put us on the map again. We've got there's a ton of talent. There's a ton of talent in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
And being on the underground side of that, I had the opportunity to see everybody from the most horrible, unseasoned artists all the way up to people who you should be famous. Like, I don't know why you're still. Why do you not have 50 million fans? You know what I mean? And there's been instances where I consider myself in that category. Like, hey, I feel like I'm one of the elite artists, underground artists. You know what I mean, from my area. And
right.
But you can't rest on those laurels, and I refuse to. You have to work harder.
Yeah.
You have to work harder.
Yeah, and it's like that. I mean, man, a lot of similarities, man, because I know exactly what that's like growing up, somewhere small like that, and having just the music community period being small, but just Panama City. If Panama City don't even have that many people there. Like, I think you said 500. There's not even 500,000 people in Panama City where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Not in that whole county.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, I mean, I understand exactly what that's like growing up somewhere. You don't have a real music scene like that, but y'all music scene probably was bigger than ours based on what you're saying growing up.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even have that many people. But interesting conversation, man. Because the Carolinas, for me personally, because this is internet radio and we get music and artists and submissions from people don't understand everywhere. You know what I'm saying? FM is bigger. It's gonna always be the granddaddy, and XM is bigger. But when you're dealing with internet radio, you and especially the independent community, you get it from everywhere. Africa, UK, Canada, all these places, you know what I'm saying? And then the Americas. And so we get the music from everywhere. And I can say that on average, if the artist is from Carolina, they're not gonna be whack. They're gonna most of the time I'm gonna rock with 75% of the time I get an artist from the Carolinas, they gonna have some good music. Now they may be missing some marketing or whatever, but are they whack? Are they like trash? It's rare that I get a Carolina artist that comes across our platform, you know what I'm saying? That's whack. It doesn't happen often. More often than not, y'all are dope. You know what I'm saying? That's just from my seat, from a program director, music director seat. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's just real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just facts. It's not fiction. I'm just telling you how it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I can name places where when I open the email and I see that, and I'm like, oh, this is probably going to...
Oh, Lord. What are they about to
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's good.
But I
Wait, are you allowed to say what area? What area?
I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to smoke with those motherfuckers. No, fuck that. This is your interview. No, I ain't starting that shit over here. No. Anyway, K100 Radio.
You are tuned to K100 Radio. Hip Hop and R&B.
K100 Radio.
K100, you bastards.
Landon trying to get me in trouble. We rocking with Landon McClellen over here. This is K100 Radio, and I will not allow him to rope me into that corner. We finna get into his music. That's what we finna do. We finna pivot. That's what you do. That's what you do, people in media.
Yeah, that's good.
You pivot.
Go
All
ahead.
right, let's get to the music though. Seriously, because we only got 30 minutes. All right, so I want you to introduce this song that you got called "Love You Tomorrow." This is the first song that I ever heard by you. Because this again was my first time hearing about you as an artist. You know what I'm saying? When I got the media kit and everything. So this is my introduction. And so this is one of the songs that was sent to me. And so when I pressed play on this, I was like, this is a really good fucking record. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm talking to you and doing the interview and knowing that you really was doing rap more so than this, and then you kind of was R&B curious, and you know what I'm saying? You was full R&B. By the way, it sounds like you were full R&B, not curious. You know, you were just in the closet, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You was in the closet R&B. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Closeted R&B singer.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this is a really good record. So I want you to talk about "Love You Tomorrow," the creation and the production and everything, and we'll go ahead and hit play on it. You got it?
Yeah, no doubt. So the first thing I want to do is shout out my man Jay Styles. Okay, Jay Styles. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. He is an incredibly talented producer, incredibly talented vocalist. He is actually currently the youngest acting member of legendary 90s R&B group Blackstreet, No Diggity Blackstreet.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the producer on this record is a currently touring member of Blackstreet, knows Teddy Riley. You know, he's very deep. He's deep in the game, as they say. He's got skin in the game, you know. So shout out to Jay Styles, man. I love you, Jay. Thank you for putting this record together for me, bro. At the time when this record was written, this record is written about a now ex-girlfriend. And so I'm on the road promoting a song that constantly reminds me of somebody that I no longer have in my life and that broke my heart, you know, but it is what it is.
Oh,
and
tough.
Wrote it about this girl, the girl from Florida that we were talking about before the podcast started.
I would have warned you, bro.
Fell
I'm
head
gonna
over
get
heels.
smoked for saying that, but I would have warned you. But my Florida people I'm gonna get smoked for saying that, but I would have warned you.
Sometimes you can't warn a man. I was grown. I knew what I was doing. That was my fault. So you can't. Jay wouldn't. There was nothing that you could have told me. Is my point. You just gotta let him ride it out. He, you know.
Yay.
So I was under management. Mr. Sean Bonner, who no longer manages me. We had a situation and all that. But shout out to Mr. Sean Bonner and Anthony, our management team. And at the time, I was being managed by these guys and not my current I Swim with Sharks and Symphonic crew. So I've switched. I've gotten signed to this label.
Okay.
I'm now currently signed to Symphonic and I Swim with Sharks. So shout out to the whole team, TC, Wildheart, all to get the whole gang. But when Love You Tomorrow came about, it was my introduction to Jay Styles. My current manager at the time put me on him, took me to Charlotte. We did some work together. Jay sent me this instrumental. I had no idea what he was going to send me. Almost like you opening up that email from Sarai, right, with my info. it was me opening up an email from Jay Styles with 3 or 4 beats in there going, hey, we're going to be working together here in a few weeks. I was like, okay, I've already heard about you. You know, my management has told me who you are, you know, on this. He's like, here's some beats. Let me know what you think. And he made the Love You Tomorrow track with me in mind. I had no idea it was going to happen, but he sat down and cooked this instrumental with specifically thinking about me and sent it to me. And I was so blown away by it that I wrote 3 different songs. I wrote 3 entire different songs. So the version that we have now, that's the final, is sort of a hybrid of versions 1 and 2. Like I pulled some stuff from both, you know, and put it together.
Yeah.
But I had 3 totally written songs to this instrumental. Like as soon as he sent it to me within the next, you know, probably week or so, I had written 3 whole songs to it. And once I got there in the studio with him, I riffed off, you know, started riffing some of the stuff to him. I was like, all right, here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. He's like, ooh, okay, I like this part of 1 and this part of 2. So in a way, you know, he helped me shape, you know, the lyrics and kind of, you know, put everything together. But yeah, Jay was hugely instrumental. So it's a beautiful song. It says, you know, the title is Love You Tomorrow. It talks about wholesome love. It talks about loving with intent, not going to bed angry, right? And there's nothing that you can do. That's how I felt about my woman. You know, at the time I said, hey, there's nothing that you can possibly do that's going to make me hate you. I'm always going to love you tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like I'll love you tomorrow. And so it's a wholesome message. It's a positive message. It's not something that's based in toxicity. And I think that's something that the world really needs right now.
Absolutely. This is Landon McClellen. Landon McClellen. This is K100 Radio. The name of this song is called Love You Tomorrow. First time on K100 Radio. You guys listen to it. And listen, if you guys are watching on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook stream, drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? Drop a comment. Let us know what you think about the record if you're watching live right now. If you're on K100Radio.com or if you listen to us on the K100 Radio mobile app, jump over to the YouTube channel and drop a comment. We'll see it on the comments and we'll let them know what you think. But I really like it myself, but I'm going to play this joint, man. Love You Tomorrow. Landon McClellen, K100 Radio.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, Hip Hop and R&B.
I wear my heart on my sleeve, no cardiac. I got the coin like the Giants at the laundromat. Bonnie Clyde, how we ride, you can holler back. Brains and the beauty, yeah, she already thought of that. She the princess, that's a given, no. You know we got that chemistry with no chemicals. Baby, you're a centerfold, yeah, yeah. Somebody else's son just can't love you like I love you. I know you're the one. When you call me, I'm gon' come through. So I'ma kiss you out in public like I kiss you in the hallway. I gave you my whole heart, we could never part ways. Someone say, you know I'm gon' love you tomorrow. You know I'm gon' love you tomorrow. You wear your heart on your sleeve, that's where I'll be at. And if I hit you up, I know you gon' call me back. I love your energy, like baby, I need all of that. Baby, I need all of that. Baby, I need all of that. You gon' keep my secrets if I tell you some. You're not the only one who wants to be my only one. You wanna be my only one. Baby, take my heart and run. Somebody else's son just can't love you like I love you. We can love you, baby. I know you're the one. When you call me, I'm gon' come through. So I'ma kiss you out in public like I kiss you in the hallway. Like I kiss you in the hallway. I gave you my whole heart, we could never part
It's going down. Here's another exclusive interview on K100 Radio. You are tuned to K100 Radio.
Hip Hop and R&B. You know the drill.
K100, you bastards.
And that was Landon McClellen. That was that joint I was telling y'all about. Love You Tomorrow, man. He was sliding on that right there. Landon, bro, that was a really great song, man. Like, listen, bro, that was dope. Shout out to the people that are listening on K100radio.com. Also listening over on the YouTube channel. All right. Shout out to people watching.
Yeah.
Some people chiming in. We got, let me see, English woman Jody Bordeaux got the little heart emoji with the smiley face with the hearts. Betty Pepper says fire with the little fire emoji. All right.
Hey.
Moon Eye Design says they love that song. All right. You feel me? So a couple people over there watching on the YouTube channel live right now, man. Shout out to those people, man. It was a couple people listening earlier. I see the homie Bernie Hurst was watching, and Joshua Keene also was watching over there too earlier. So shout out to the people that's watching on the YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys taking time to, listen to some new music, open your eyes and ears up to something new. You feel me? Something dope. So listen, fam, I told you already that I love that record. I was like, yo, that one is dope. So we're gonna slide that one on into our rotation over here at K100 Radio.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. And I don't say that. You can go back and go through the archive. I don't say that about every interview. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people, we get, with interviews, we interview the artists, and sometimes the music just doesn't necessarily fit our thing. But that one right there is a pretty great record. So we're gonna definitely, trying to run those spins up over here for your Apple Music and your
Thank you,
digital radio tracker, bro. We got another song, but before we get into that, man, tell us what you currently got going on. Do you have an album coming out, a whole project? What's your current status right now and everything you got popping as an artist?
Man, so the first thing I like to talk about is my YouTube. So I drop new YouTube content every single Friday, right? I've been covering a bunch of different songs. Actually, right before this interview started, I was actually here because I'm in Atlanta for the week right now, promoting this song, and I was actually recording a cover of Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers. So something kind of cool for the YouTube channel. So please check in the YouTube channel. That would be awesome. Landon McClellen on YouTube. No album, but a string of singles are all queued up and in the pipeline and ready to go. The song that you actually have to play next, called She Just Wanna Party, is unreleased. That's produced by a talented producer named K Figs, who is also out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's actually the same guy that produced Yayo for Snooty Wild, is who produced this next joint that I'm about to show you.
Okay.
So he's got some creds. He's got some plaques behind his name too. So he's a super talented guy. Shout out to K Figs. I love you, bro. So a series of singles. So Love You Tomorrow is out. Then I dropped a song called Bad Decisions, which I produced myself. So you can guys check that out. It's beautiful too.
Oh, producer too. I didn't know that.
The party song that you're about to play is next. So that'll be the third punch in a row. After that, I have a song called Silly Me, featuring none other than my bro Jay Styles, that produced that Love You Tomorrow track on vocals this time. So I've got a verse from him on a song called Silly Me, which is beautiful. It's like, it reminds me of trappy John Mayer. Like, it's guitars, but it's also trap drums and 808s, so it's got a nice vibe to it. So a long string of singles. So please just tune in to me on any of your streaming platforms. You can expect a brand new song every month, and then a YouTube cover every single weekend.
That's what's up, man. So you out there really putting in the real work on the musical side too.
Constant stream of content, yes, sir.
Yeah. The content is that's, and when you still got that fire in you and it's still burning in you, man, I can hear it in you. You still got it, and you're still ready to just go put in that real work. The creative side. Sometimes the creative fire can burn down. You know what I'm saying? And then but you still sound like you really got that creative side, that fire that you need up under you to still keep going. Shout out to your producers too, because that producer, the first one, I know you say he was a major plug, but still that shit came out great. You know what I'm saying?
Jay is the man. And a matter of fact, I'll throw this in here. Jay is one of the few people that I get in the studio with. Once again, I'm sure this sounds a little egotistical, but Jay is one of the few people that I get in the studio with, and I feel intimidated vocally. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen often. Like, when I get in the studio with a bunch of people, normally I look around the room, I listen to everybody, and I tell myself, hey, you're still the best one in here. When I get in the studio with Jay, and I try to record something, and I'll sing like a little line, or something, and I'll sing something, and he'll look at me and be like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but what if you did it like this? He'll rip something crazy, and I'm like, what are you? Come on, Jay, man, why you do that? Right. Anyway, I love you, Jay. The bro is amazing.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna drop this She Just Wanna Party track because we compressed with the time right now. Segue the people into what we're about to hear right now, so I can drop this one.
This song is about a girl who won't stop getting fucked up all the time, and her boyfriend is sick of it.
Oh, I had a follow-up question. So, does the girl that you're talking about in Love You Tomorrow know that the song is about her, and has she heard it? I forgot about that. I was about to.
I doubt she's heard it because I'm blocked on everything.
Damn, that was a bad breakup.
Oh yeah, no, it was a real bad breakup.
Whoa.
It resulted in her leaving all of her belongings at my house to deal with, and literally just dipped on me with a night bag and went to live with her parents in California. Like, it was dramatic. It was incredibly dramatic. I almost crashed my car crying, driving home from the airport. Like, oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll move on from that one, nigga. That one sounds a little.
If she has heard it, then I hope she realizes how down bad I was, and how much love she left behind when she left.
Oh man, well, I guess you love her forever, man. All right, so listen, we're gonna rock this joint though, but the new one, the next one, she just want to party. She just just about a party girl, basically, right?
Yeah. She won't stop getting fucked up, and her boyfriend's sick of it.
Was the other girl like getting fucked up when you were sick of it, or just no?
No. These two songs are about two different people.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
She just want to party. Bye. Everybody, come on, fellas. We all love a party girl. Stop playing. K100 Radio.
Yeah.
You are tuned to K100 Radio, Hip Hop and R&B.
K100, you bastards.
I met her through my homie at a party at my brother crib. Even if she faded, she gon' always want another hit. Told me that she loved me, then she kissed me on the porch. I've been through this before, I can't do this shit no more. Yeah. She don't wanna party, yeah. She ain't with nobody, yeah. She just wants some money, yeah. She just wanna party, yeah. She a thick one, pretty one, she know what she needs. She get tipsy off that liquor and she always lose her keys. I keep trying to holler every time she hit the scene. Yeah, she acting like she tricking, but the tricks are up her sleeve. She just wanna party, she ain't looking for support. Got a Dewey on the freeway, she ain't even go to court. She treat every single weekend like her B-Day, that's for sure. I done been through this before, I can't do this shit no more. Yeah. She don't wanna party, yeah. She ain't with nobody, yeah. She just wants some money, yeah. She just wanna party, yeah. She don't wanna party, yeah. She ain't with nobody, yeah. She just wants some money, yeah. She just wanna party, yeah. She don't love nobody no more. She left her heart on the dance floor, Rather be hungover than heartbroken. Rather be hungover than heartbroken. Baby, take a shot for the man you left behind. Baby, take a shot for every time he made you cry. Baby, take a shot for the grand when it blow up. Baby, take a shot for the glow up. Yeah. She don't wanna party, yeah. She ain't with nobody, yeah. She just wants some money, yeah. She just wanna party, yeah. She just wanna party, yeah. She just wanna party, yeah. She don't wanna party, yeah. Ooh. She don't wanna party, yeah. Ooh.
It's going down.
Here's another exclusive interview on K100 Radio. You are tuned
All
to
right, man. We get ready to
K100
wrap
Radio,
this thing
Hip
up,
Hop
though.
and R&B.
We get ready to wrap this thing up.
K100, you bastards.
But before we get ready to go, man, we got to make sure we give Landon McClellen another really dope record, dog. I like that one. That was a vibe, though. That was like. So let me throw my music supervisor hat on, which I've done before. That right there, yeah, that's the one. That's. I need that one I need that one for the
I'll send it to you.
For the syncing and for the.
My phone's about to die too. I think it's going to turn off here in a second.
But listen, before you go, tell everybody how they can find you on social media. Go ahead.
Hey, at Landon McClellen NC, LANDON MCCLELLAN NC. If you type in Landon MCC on any given platform, it's going to pop up. I'm going to be the first one. That MCC is clutch.
There you go. All right, man. I ain't gonna hold you since your phone about to die, man. Listen, Hey man, listen, really great music, man. Really great conversation. If you missed any part of this conversation, you can find it on our YouTube channel. The good version will be uploaded in maybe a day or so. Then it'll be on our Spotify podcast. Please subscribe to the K100 Radio YouTube channel. Please give us that support. We need that because we here for the indies. We doing this for them. So the platforms that support the indies, the more y'all support them, the better it is for the indies. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, I really appreciate everybody for rocking with us. It looked like Landon's phone died at the last minute, but we got through that interview. All right, and that was a really great one. So make sure you follow the Spotify podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we're getting ready to roll out, man. Again, this was another direct line interview on K100 Radio. Let me see what I got over here. Oh, I'm gonna drop another one. I'll drop this Mike Mongo. This was if you're watching if you're on our page, scroll down to the last interview. This was Mike Mongo, which was a really good interview that we did with him. This joint's called "It Feels Good Outside." If you're listening to us on our Spotify, go down to the last interview and the one before that. You feel what I'm saying? And check out some of these interviews for some of these really dope independent artists, man. You feel me? So and please support them. Please support them. Like that's really the main thing. Like when you hear these artists and we do these live interviews and stuff, man, go support these people, bro. Like they be having some good music. Like y'all don't get tired of hearing the same. I know y'all got your faves. I got my faves. I got the artists that I listen to just that I like. Everybody got that. But you gonna keep listening to them over and over again? Like it's so much good music that be created. And I know people be like, hip hop is and everybody's trash, but no, that's the people that you hearing. That's the platform that you choose to engage with. They don't have diversity in their music selection and don't really know how to get the really dope indie artists to kind of gravitate to their platforms and spew it back out to you. Not us at K100 Radio. All right? Download the app, open it up, ride out to it for a whole day and tell me we're going to be playing some shit. We're going to hear some shit you like and some shit you don't like and some shit you know and some shit you don't know. We can't please everybody. We got to diversify it, but for the most part, you're going to hear some shit that you ain't never heard. You can be like, that shit slide. K100 Radio.
K100 Radio.